No, just what you are.
Oh my god, I can't stop listening to the song. Like, ST3V OR STUNNA here, President of the World. This is a new album, mixtape, from probably my favorite underground hip hop artist to come out of the United flipping Kingdom. I couldn't have asked for a more concise and addictive album this year from any artist of even if in the mainstream. I couldn't have asked for a more addictive. I don't think you understand how many times I've had this album on repeat. I have to get into the review because, like, I don't know if there's another album that I've replayed so much in one day. You can make the excuse that it's 20 minutes. I don't give a fuck. This album, mixtape, I don't care. Whatever fans wanna, this has got some potential like I have never seen on any other mixtape. We have 10 songs here. It's a 20-minute runtime, about 2 minutes, sorry, per song. Now, actually, no, what am I doing? Like, I need to talk about him, like, ST3V OR STUNNA, first of all. I'm proud as a Londoner to have this man in our city, in our great capital. He's a London-based rapper. He's in the most underground you can get when it comes to UK music. I don't think he's even surpassed 10,000 monthly listeners across all streaming platforms he's on, like Deezer, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music. I don't think he's exceeded 10,000 monthly listeners, like, as of me recording this video. You know, he's of Nigerian descent, and throughout his entire catalogue of music, dating back to 2023, his self-titled EP, his trilogy of albums of Ultraviolet 1 EP, Ultraviolet 2, 3, like, he kind of does this reference of his culture, including his language in the lyrics, which I really like. But I'm gonna get into that later, you know. This is his 4th full-length mixtape, or 3rd, should I say. I'm not gonna really count Ultraviolet 1, that's more of like a two songs. It's an EP, but this is his 3rd full-length mixtape. He did 2 last year, his 1st of the year. I came into this with not the highest expectations, given I was some sort of a fan of his previous 2 EPs and mixtapes, but I thought they were a bit one-dimensional, you know. I looked at them as, is he gonna kind of follow the same formula onto President of the World? And while he kind of did that, this album completely shocked me. It was something I didn't expect at all. I was not expecting the amount of influence that this man has managed to grab from the likes of Ski Mask, the Slump God, Lancey Foe, shit, even Che. You know, more about the album. It's a very short track list, as mentioned. Each song has this absolutely infectious tempo within. It's like this fast BPM type of thing that keeps you engaged as the listener. Each song is short, it's snappy, it's got this huge, this distorted trap sort of beat in itself. Like, a lot of the UK underground scene artists that have, you know, even recently broke into the mainstream, when you look at people like Fake Mink or SD Kid or Rico Ace, Sinner, they kind of have this similar trap banger beat where it's just, you know, you got the beat, the 808s, but it's kind of a very formulaic type of beat. And with ST3V here, I even saw this in his previous, like, some of his lead-up singles to his Ultraviolet 3, you know, Jackalope or Dabo, where he has this very unique tempo, and I didn't see this from anyone. Like I haven't seen this type of flow since the debut projects of Lancey Foe back in like 2019, 18. Even his Pink debut, I haven't seen much of that up until this point. And here with President of the World, he really just brings that nostalgia factor back. And I'm pretty sure if Lancey Foe fans listen to this album, they're gonna see this and they're gonna be like, damn. Anyway, I mean, as I said, his beat selection is heavily inspired and heavily influenced from Back to the Trap, Lancey Foe's 2023 project. On top of that, we know this is filled with these very fast-paced, distorted trap bangers, something like a Mob Boss or an Ronaldinho or ADHD, something you get from Back to the Trap. And he kind of brings it down. While it's not as energetic and well put together as Back to the Trap is. That's just a lack of experience, and you know, ST3V OR STUNNA has all this potential, and he's just a new artist. He's still someone that has only started making proper music into the streaming world from 2022 2023 with his Ultraviolet 1 EP. You know, it can't compare with Lancey, who's made music for the last decade, but you could see the influence. Opening song here, I Just Broke My Bank, has this insane opening beat that's heavily inspired from Ski Master Slump God, as well as Che, surprisingly. If you listen to this, especially the second song following, GLE 63, you can really see the similarity in a few songs from Che's Rest and Bass album that came out this year. Another very impressive underground / coming up towards mainstream sort of project. Very addictive. I would highly recommend that as well. But overall, like across this album, I don't think I could find a proper skip that I'd say I don't actually like the song at all. Like every song has its own uniqueness to it, and while some of them may not appeal to me personally, and I wouldn't skip, but I would kind of turn a blind eye to. I wouldn't really pay much attention to it. Everyday Payday can be a bit annoying and a bit boring at times, while it sounds crazy to me. But I don't think there's an actual song that I don't like. And that just kind of adds on to why it's so important for these artists to start making albums that are firstly short and concise, because you don't want to bore the listeners, especially given that a lot of his listeners are very new and trying to introduce themselves to ST3V. And he's done just that, you know, it's 20 minutes. His previous work was 13 minutes. His Ultraviolet 2 was 17 minutes, if I'm correct. Like, it was very short. This is his longest album, and that says something because it's 20 minutes. It's not long. It's not long at all. As I said, you know, Everyday Payday can be, in my opinion, this the most formulaic song, where he kind of just, it sounds like a leftover from Ultraviolet 3. Some of the lyrics as well on top of this throughout the album can seem a little bit questionable, but some of them are actually kind of funny. Like, you know, Pockets Fat, I feel like Queso. You can't help but laugh a little bit. Some of these lyrics don't work too well with the song, like the actual beat choice, and sometimes it's meant to be a bit more raunchy and a bit more in your face, and then when you hit them with the Queso lyrics, it's a bit But aside from that, I have nothing else much to say in terms of negativity on this album. It's just a very short, concise album. And when it comes to my top 3, number 3 has to be Money on My Mind, one of the lead singles leading up to this EP mixtape. It's a great flow. It's just good selection, as most of the songs are on this mixtape. Auto-tune as well throughout this song, and some points throughout the album blend nicely. They're not obnoxious by any means, something you get from like a new Lil Wayne project like the Carter 6. It blends very nicely as well. Like even some Ken Carson beats and albums can seem to me personally a bit overrated, simply because his auto-tune is so in your face, but in a bad way. Like it kind of just violates the whole reason to have auto-tune. Like you might as well just sing alone, because it sounds really bad. But here it's just right, because you have to have a little bit of auto-tune, especially the trend with this kind of distorted trap banger beat songs that have, you know, been popping off in the last 2-3 years. Like auto-tune has been quite a heavy trend within this type of music, and it's, you know, it's fine so long as the artist and the producer find a blend to make it fit perfectly. And if you don't need auto-tune, just don't use it. Don't follow the herd. My number 2 song has to be Womanizer. It's featuring it's got the lone feature of Onuda Sama, you know, a female rapper, quite underground. She has just been, you know, popping off in the scene. Great short and sweet build-up tones, insane beat sample. But the number 1 song for me, it has to be T1Ju. Insane song from Jekalo Obado inspiration of his Ultraviolet Part 3, but that's about it. I don't know, like overall, this album was something I didn't expect to be this impressed with, let alone confidently say that every song was just infectious and it was addictive. I listened to this album countless times. I don't know, what really surprised me was how he took a new direction with this album and compared to his last 2, and it impressed. It didn't disappoint. I don't know if I can say that there's one song I didn't like. The influence from Ski Mask and Lancey is really there, but it was executed in such a good way, and I'm really looking forward to see what he has next in his you know, career as a musician. And hopefully, I hope he breaks into that mainstream, because he really deserves it. Like, he's sitting at 7,700 monthly listeners on Spotify as I'm recording, which is nothing. And I can name so many artists of his kind of genre that can make music that clearly is not on par with his. I don't care. This is not Glaze. This is just me telling you guys that this is an artist that you need to keep an eye out on. And I know that one day he'll break into the mainstream, because his unique flow, his beat selection is so addicting, and it's just there. So with that, ST3V OR STUNNA, President of the World, I'm feeling a 7 out of 10. What do you think of the album yourself? If you've heard it. If you haven't, give it a listen, and do let me know what you think. Any future albums recommendations, do give me a suggestion. I'm all in for it. And with that, I'll catch you at your next ones.